The White House pool, the press pool, traveling back from New York City to Washington, D.C. this evening with President Joe Biden, reported that as they boarded Air Force One tonight, as former President Trump was participating in a CNN town hall in New Hampshire, televisions in the press cabin were set to MSNBC and not CNN. Joining me now is my esteemed colleague, Jen Psaki, host of Inside with Jen Psaki. Jen, thank you for being here, my friend. It seems not I mean, God
Such
bless
a
everybody
fun
who watches
detail,
MS.
by the way.
What's that?
Yeah. Such a fun detail.
Yeah, well, but I think it's an important detail, too, right?
Yes.
Not just that, God bless everybody who's an MSNBC viewer, but the White House does not want to deal with the headache that was, or perhaps further expose people to the nightmare that was President Trump spouting lies, largely uncensored, for 75 minutes. Is that part of a campaign strategy? Talk to me about, there are no accidental decisions in something like that. What do you think that represents?
That's true, and now I want to know more about that. But I would say, Alex, they don't, from the officials I still talk there, and I do stay in touch with a number of my former colleagues, they don't underestimate Trump. When there was a whole theory of, oh, Trump would be the easiest to run against, oh, Biden would clean his clock, that was not something I ever heard from a former colleague over there. They ran against him before, and he almost beat Biden. So they are not the ones, in my experience or from my engagements with them, who need a kind of a wake-up call. I will say that given tonight was one of Trump's biggest returns to the national stage in a while, it should be a pretty big wake-up call for Democrats. I mean, he lied about a lot of things. He said some crazy things like the country could default. He couldn't answer whether he would sign an abortion ban. Maybe he's on the side of Russia. He said lots of crazy things about January 6th. All of that is true. But he also had a command of that town hall meeting, and he has the evil charisma that people can hate, but it is happening. And hopefully it was a wake-up call for people out there about the reality that this guy is currently on the path to be the nominee and to likely give the president a run for his money.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about the evil charisma. He was owning the room, and perhaps more disturbingly, the room was eating it up.
That was the most disturbing. I mean, there was a lot of disturbing, but the laughing when there were insane things, offensive things, things about E. Jean Carroll being said, the laughing in the room, that was disturbing.
And the fact of the matter is, as we talk about the evil charisma, Trump's owning of the room, the audience lapping it up, this could be a summer of criminal indictments against the president. And as devastating as that should be for anybody who is concerned about the state of our democracy, it could also weirdly strengthen Trump. And I wonder from amongst his people, from a Biden standpoint, what is your sense of how the White House talks about potential criminal indictments, how much they wade into that?
Well, there is a tradition, as you know, Alex, of not weighing in on criminal indictments, and they're going to try to abide by that, is my bet. That becomes harder and probably less strategically to their advantage if there's an indictment on January 6th, on the Georgia case you were just talking about. These are fundamental values, defense of democracy. They're going to have to find a way to talk about it. They don't have to comment on the case, but it is about values, what you're trying to defend, and the contrast between the two candidates. So, yeah, I think it changes a little bit if there are other indictments on these other issues.
Do you think President Biden is ready to go ham? Because it feels like he's going to need to do that.
Ready to go ham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to rephrase for those of you not following along at home, but is he ready to throw punches? Because it feels like Trump is in the ring.
I think so. He did in 2020. I think he has to be. The other thing, though, to remember here is it's probably not going to be won or lost on fact-checking. It's probably going to be on fighting about the issues, abortion access, democracy, the economy, that helped him win in the first time. So I think he's going to be very specific about where he throws his punches.
We are going to, well, we'll see what station the airplane televisions are tuned to in the coming days.
Tune in. Stay tuned.
Hopefully, see MSNBC on Sunday at noon for your program.
I hope so.
Jen Psaki, my friend and colleague, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Alex.